I am live. I'm live. I'm live. I'm live. What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Hopefully, the notifications go out. I just confirm that they went out because I have another channel that's attached to this channel just to see how things are moving, flowing. All right, so this video is gonna be talking about dealer floor plans. I just uploaded a video earlier today. Well, just a few minutes ago. It was attempting to be uploaded like way earlier today, but for some reason the audio uh, just decided not to come through. So me being the person that I am and wanted to make sure that I am providing the substance, I am here live tonight at 9:36 to talk a little bit about the dealer floor plans. So I'll tell you what I said in the video, right? And I think that will give you the fullness of what I was saying in the video that you couldn't hear, and then I open it up for Q&A. So see, there's nobody here based on my side. So let me wait a couple minutes because I don't want to repeat myself if I don't have to. I know I told a couple people that I was actually going live. So if you are in here, just put something in the chat to say that you're here, if you don't mind doing that. If you are here, put something in the chat to say that you are here so that I know that we have some people in the room, so that I don't have to repeat myself and so that you can get the fullness of the video. So far I see 2 participants on my side. Now I see 3. All right, so if you're in here, go ahead and type something in the chat box. Let me know that you're with me. I'm looking for Tim in Florida, and there was somebody else I told I was going live. So I just want to make sure at least those people are actually on this live, because I know you guys just attempted to watch the last video that for some reason the audio just did not come through. It just didn't want to come in. So all right, so I don't see anything in the chat. Oh, hold on. Let me go back to the chat. My bad. All right. Tim in Florida say sound. Yay. All right. Perfect. So Tim is here. All right. So Tim, if you're watching me, hope you stay with me throughout the video. But I'm just going to basically talk a little bit about exactly what I said in the video. I know I won't get it verbatim because a lot of my stuff is unscripted, just straight to the point. So dealer floor plans. A lot of people have their own way of looking at dealer floor plans. I personally believe that the dealer floor plans are for people that actually don't need money from the bank, and they're using it just for leverage to do some, to bring in some more inventory, maybe a bait vehicle just to get people there, like a nice Corvette or something to get people to their lot. But I personally believe that you should not use dealer floor plans as your primary source to fund your inventory. That is the sentiment of my opinion. And my video was very elaborative. It's like 15 minutes long talking about this. So the reasons why I feel that way is because dealer floor plans should be used by people that actually can take on the risk of having the bank and the floor plan. Also, when you use a floor plan, you have to understand that you are giving away a lot of control. Okay, you are giving a lot of control away from your business. Case in point, if you're using a dealer floor plan, you can't jump in a car at your lot and drive home, right? If you just want to drive another car home, or if you want to take a car, if you have, like, if, say for instance, if you have a Jeep on your lot and you want to do some off-roading, you can't jump in that Jeep and go off-roading, because when you wrap yourself around a dealer floor plan, that car must stay on your lot throughout the time that it is in your possession. Also, keep in mind that when you do a dealer floor plan, you are now the bank's for lack of better word, benefactor, right? So they are benefiting from you when you sell that vehicle. So essentially, you are now working for that bank because you're not working for yourself anymore. Because you are going to get a little bit of the profit, right? Or you're going to get a lot of profit, hopefully, but you're going to share the profit now with this other person, which is the dealer floor plan, the bank. Okay. So if you are trying to decide whether you should use dealer floor plan to stock your initial inventory, the answer is an overwhelming no, in my opinion, because you give away the control. Not only can you not jump in one of your cars that you have bought from the auction, the titles 99% of the time are now going to be held by the bank, by the floor plan company. They have companies that are coming out now to make themselves, quote unquote, more competitive, allowing you to actually keep the title in your location. So if you have to go with the floor plan, I think that will probably be the one that you want to try to seek out, because it gives you that freedom and that flexibility. Because when you are in the used car business, everything depends on the circumstance at that time, right? So, for instance, if you are a dealer in Michigan and somebody comes from, let's just say, what state is close to Michigan? I think Wisconsin. So, somebody drive over from Wisconsin to Michigan to buy a car. They may be expecting to take the title back to Michigan that same day, especially if they pay cash for the car, right? So if you are using a dealer floor plan, now you have to come up with a solution to that problem, because you don't have the title 99% of the time when you floor plan a car. So that those are the main two reasons for me. Well, there's another reason too, is now you're profit share, right? You're taking some of your profit and you're giving it to the entity that have given you the money to buy the vehicle in the first place. So your profits will be altered because of that fact. So ultimately, if you can afford to stock your own inventory, that should be your way to go. If you are cash flowing positive, for instance, let's just use some simple numbers. If you are selling, let's just say 7 cars a week, between 7 and 10 cars a week, you should be making between $7,000 and $10,000 on average. Maybe a little bit lower because of everybody can't profit the same margins, right? But you should at least be making at least $700 a car. With all of the work that you're having to put in to make that $700, you should definitely be getting at least 700. So, case in point, we'll just call it $40,000 a month. If you're making $40,000 a month, then yeah, you should be able to leverage with a dealer floor plan, and do a couple deals. It may not hurt you, because you have established yourself to a point to where if it does not go right, if you buy the wrong car, if it stays on your lot too long and the curtailments are more, you're not sitting here talking about how you're going to pay these people their money, right? Those concerns are now not in play, because you have the financials to actually back what it is that you're borrowing from the bank. So also, in the video, I went off and I said, well, if you have to start thinking about a dealer floor plan to stock your inventory, I think that you should look at a different perspective, like change your perspective from a dealer floor plan, and let's start looking at it from a standpoint of just borrowing money, right? I would much rather you go to your bank or your credit union and ask for a line of credit. If you can get approved with a dealer floor plan, the chances are you may be able to get approved with a line of credit, because with dealer floor plans, you do have to have decent credit. You can't have just piss poor credit to get the money from the bank. So if you can qualify on with the dealer floor plan, then it may be in your best interest to go ahead and try a line of credit first. Take their money first, because it gives you more control of your business. you're not dealing with the title situation. The titles are going to be with you at your location, so you don't have to worry about if someone is coming across state lines and expecting to take the title back to their home or back with them at the time of the sale. That's less stuff you have to try to come up with as it relates to uh, overcoming that issue. So definitely, line of credit would be the first option, in my opinion. After you look at the line of credit, really before the line of credit, honestly, as I backtrack in my mind, you need to try to talk to people in your family, right? So let's think about this for an example. For instance, if you know 5 people in your family that have savings or have a little bit of money saved that will be able to invest, right? If you take those 5 people and you ask for $1,000 from each of those people, that's $5,000 that you can instantly get from your own sphere of influence. Okay. Say, for instance, if you want to, the way I would set it up is give that family member 30% return on their investment. So versus you making 100% of the profit, now you're making 70% of the profit. You're actually giving someone else some passive income that right? Versus taking the money from the floor plan company, and they're stipulating you on the titles have to come to me. The cars can't leave the lot unless they're on the test drive. If the cars are not caught on your lot, we want our money and we want it right now. So if you don't want to deal with those things, hey, that same percentage, those fees and all of that stuff that comes with the floor plan, you could actually benefit your own family through your business, right? So through your business, you're benefiting your own family. I have recently started this opportunity with my family. Now, I haven't taken any money yet, but it's something that we're talking about, because your business is a great opportunity to not only impact you and your family, but your immediate family, but it could spill over into your external family members. $2,500. I did the math on this. $2,500. I think is like $700. Is 30% of that 2,500 is $700. So ish. So you'll be giving somebody $700 by them just giving you $2,500. And I don't know too many people that wouldn't want to do that if they have the $2,500. If you've already established your business and you're selling cars, they would love to make an extra $700. So versus going to the floor plan companies, I would urge you to look at what you have right now that you can actually leverage, and it impacts your own family. So many times we always want to just go out and do it ourselves, right? And we leave out the fact that we have family members that would love to support our business and help us. So if you're there to a point where you want to take money from people, definitely take money from your own people first. So that's my 2 cents on dealer floor plan. I think it can ruin your business if you're not savvy. If you have not already established a precedence on cash flow and consistently selling vehicles and understanding your market and having low days on the market and really having a system, not just getting lucky, because a lot of times dealers will get lucky and then they will think that that is a viable system. Getting lucky is not a system. Getting lucky is not a system. What you should do and what you should have is, I have a list of cars that I know what I'm going to pay for them. I know what my profit margins are going to be. I know what my expected repairs are going to be for that. My mechanic already know the type of vehicles that I deal with. So that is developing a system and a flow to where you can now start to predict income. You can start to create trends and trend lines and all of that stuff. I mean, it can really go deep, but you can't just get lucky and think that that's a system. So before you start taking money from anybody, whether that's family or dealer floor plan, if you decide to go that route, which I don't think is smart. If you need the money, you shouldn't take it. If you don't need the money, take it. maybe have a line of credit, maybe be creative with that and really be responsible with it. But it shouldn't be your primary source. But again, develop a system. That's very important. And so I think I said that in the video. I talked about investing and borrowing money from your family or getting money from your family. I also talked about the weather in Atlanta. I don't know where you guys live and whenever you watch this video, but today in Atlanta it was 31. Well, the average today was about 34 degrees. And I went to the auction tonight. I had no gloves. I had coats and boots and a ball cap, but I had no gloves, man. I almost died out there. Like literally, it was cold today. So I think for the most of the country, especially the southeast and the northeast, we're experiencing the cold snap for this week, I guess. But it will dissipate. So, all right, I'm gonna open it up for questions right now. I'm gonna go to my live chat. And I'm going to see who's messaging, who's talking. So we got Tim in Florida. Sounds, yay. Okay, perfect. So Tim said, "You can hear me." Josh Shelley, finally caught you live. Yes, Josh. Josh finally caught me live. Josh is a great guy. So I met Josh through a seminar with Rick Dyer. And the Rick Dyer, his first seminar in Dallas, I actually attended that seminar. And I met Josh there. Pretty cool guy. Gord235 missed the start, but better late than never. That's right. And you can always replay this thing. Always replay it. Josh said most people like to see sales first before investing. It's hard to get money up front. It is, man. And really, I would say that logically, right? If you put yourself in that situation, you probably wouldn't give your money to people either unless they know what they're going to do with your money. So with any business, it's a part of business. It's a part of the process to save for your venture. Okay, you need to save money before you open any business or take on any responsibility. You need to be able to fund and support that business for at least an interim period. So if you can't do that, then I don't know. In business school, the first thing I learned is you have to have something to get started. You can't, you can crowdfund and you can pull money from all different aspects. But what good is it to pull money from places and people if you don't have a proven system on how you're gonna yield that return? And it can't be luck. You have to go through the process. You have to take the ups and downs, because there is a lot of ups and downs in the used car business. I mean, every bid is a gamble, truly, because unless you are a certified mechanic, like literally certified mechanic, and even certified mechanics get burned. But I mean, it's a gamble, it's a risk, but it have to be calculated, and it has to be predicted, and you have to know the worst in the beginning. Like, you got to know what is the worst case scenario for this situation. If I pay X amount for this car, what is the worst case scenario, right? And you gotta know that. And so that comes with time and experience. All right, Tim in Florida, have you ever used a floor plan or come close to using one? I have come close to using one. I opted to not take it. It was an interesting situation. So I was offered a floor plan, and I think the amount was, I think, $25,000. I decided so I didn't take the floor plan. So there was some more documents and things that I needed to do that I did not do. So therefore, I did not officially finish the process. So I decided to walk away from it. Josh Shelley, are you going to Vegas? I'll be there. I will be going to Vegas. I am going to Vegas. I think Rick Dyer is such a cool guy. just being around him. If you get nothing else from the seminar, just being around the energy of the people, because everybody is going there with the same idea, right? The same goal, which is to embrace the used car business, learn as much as you can to take that back to your store and implement it. So it's a very cool thing, and you're bound to learn something. So I will be attending the seminar in Vegas. Yeah. So if you want to meet me, come to the seminar too. Most of these people, most of you guys are from Rick Dyer's sphere of influence already, so we're kind of already connected. I don't mind that, but I hope to leverage a group of followings for myself, because me and Rick Dyer, we are similar, but yet we're different. We're similar, but we're different. We're similar, but we're different. But I think by being around Rick and even seeing his videos, he's a very genuine guy. Like he's the exact one thing I will say. One thing I will say, Rick is the exact same in person as he is in his videos. So when he always say these motherfuckers are fake and all of that, some people on YouTube are very, polished. Me personally, I'm a pretty polished guy. Like I'm not, you won't really see me dropping too many F bombs and all that if I don't really know you that well. That's just not my nature. That's just not who I am. But Rick is who he is, like, period. Okay, so if you want to meet him, go to Vegas, and you will definitely be able to meet him. Let's go back to the thingy here, Josh. Are you okay? I answer that. When buying cars at the auction, what price do you shoot for? KBB trade-in or private party? Good question. So when I go to the auction and I'm looking at valuations, like I said, the first thing is developing a system. So typically I buy the same cars over and over and over and over and over again. I am not a person that like to rock the boat. I like to find out what works, and I like to do it until it stops working. Like literally, that's my game plan. I find out what works. I develop a pattern and a system for that, and I just keep duplicating it. So with that being said, when I first started certain type of cars that I've gained experience with now, I used MMR. I used Black Book, rough trade-in. I wanted to be under the rough trade-in value. I mean, obviously, just depending on the integrity of the car. And then I would use the Facebook Marketplace to see what the vehicles are actually priced for on the market. That would really be the definitive number for me, because I come from a real estate background. So I have I'm a real estate broker in Georgia. And so for us, we're all wrapped around the actual comps of what has actually sold, right? Valuations mean nothing to me if it don't yield, if the number is not a factual number that someone has collected for the car. So that's what I use. So with the Facebook Marketplace, what I do is I have my profit margin, right? So if my profit is $1,200 on this car, if the Facebook Marketplace trend is not at least 22, if it's 2,200, then I will be at $1,000 on that car. That will be my max. So that's kind of how I do it, based on the number that's on Facebook Marketplace. And I look at multiple cars and look at the type of cars. But a lot of that you can't do on the block, right? So you don't have time to do all that stuff on the block. So a lot of it is preparation in advance. But it's also, again, just not just if you do the same cars, the numbers don't change, right? I mean, so that's kind of the concept. Get you about 6 to 10 cars that you can learn the valuations on, and that you can just constantly go after that inventory. And they need to be fairly generic, like fairly not generic, fairly popular cars, right, that are always going to be at auctions, like Ford Focus, right? You're going to always find a Ford Focus at an auction somewhere, right? Or Dodge Caravan, or Honda Odyssey if you are Honda people, or Chevrolet, right? So find you some cars, learn your numbers on them, and just keep looking for those cars. But if you have to be on the spur of the moment, then I really just kind of go straight off of MMR, honestly, as my definitive. Okay. Hope that helped, Mike. Hope that helps, Michael. He also says, I'm a dealer, not sure really where to start, Michael. Okay. All right. Cool, Michael. Well, definitely, I want you to connect with me. My email is rriley at, I'll type it in here. Connect with me, and we can chat, and we can definitely get you to where you need to be. I'll come out and we'll chat on what that looks like. All right, Josh, me too, man. It's like being around family. Can't wait to see you again. Absolutely, man. Me too. Completely agree. Similar in so many ways, yet so different in many ways. Absolutely, I am so different. Corey Barnes. Not only am I so if any of you are followers of, I can't talk tonight. I don't know what's going on. I think it's 10 o'clock. I'm tired, and my wife is allowing me to be on this live because if you guys are subscribers, you know that I recently had a kid. We have a newborn baby. So I'm about to end this in a minute and go change a diaper. But anyway, so Rick Dyer, once you meet him, you'll know that he is a Republican. Okay, Rick Dyer is a Republican. Everybody, repeat after me. Rick Dyer is a Republican. He reminds you every day that he's a Republican. So I identify for political views on paper and voting, I am a Democrat. But I believe in following the actual policy. I don't believe in taking a side because that's the side I'm on. Not to say that Rick Dyer is doing that, but me personally, I don't do that. I vote based on the policies, but at some point you have to identify with the party based on how the democratic process is created. I mean, there's a Republican Party, there's a Democratic Party, there's an independent, but society and the government has made it be that you have to be on either one or the other side. All right, so that's just that's just what it is. Corey Barnes says, "What are some golden ticket cars?" Oh, good question. So the cars that I like, I can tell you that Ford Fusion. Ford Fusions are really good cars. If you can find one that works good, right? I mean, all of this is relative to the car itself. Like when you go to your auction and you find the car for you, it needs to be, at least mobile. So here's what I do. So I have 3 dealerships. 2 of them are in Alabama and 1 of them is in the state of Georgia. So Georgia, you have to make sure, and I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. So Atlanta is we have emissions here in Atlanta. So I have a certain parameter and certain procedures for my Atlanta cars and certain procedures for my Alabama cars. With that being said, just make sure your cars are good. If you're not in an emissions county or an emissions state, the car just need to be mobile. I mean, literally, the car just needs to be mobile. If it can run on its own, if it has some comfort features, right? It may have AC or it may don't. The windows, some windows may go up, some windows may not. So, but the key is it needs to be mobile. I don't buy cars for them to go to the shop. Okay, that's another detriment to, and I'm getting off topic. But that's a detriment to dealers. is buying cars cheap and then saying, "Oh, I'm just going to take it to the shop and it's only going to be $200, $300, $400." The next thing you know, it's a freaking $1,500 bill that you now have for the car that you just bought for $400. All right, so don't fall into that trap. But yes, so going back to your question, Corey. So Ford Fusion, I love those cars. I've done great with those cars. Chevrolet Cobalt, love those cars. Now I will tell you about the Chevrolet Cobalt. Try to stay away from the two-door coupes. The two-door coupes don't sell as good as the sedans. Okay. Nissan Altimas. Nissan Altimas sell like hotcakes, man. Um, uh, let's see what else. The Ford Escapes. The Ford Escapes are really good cars. What are my other top cars? Pontiac G6, Chevrolet Malibu, the Equinox. I got so many, man. I got about a good 15 cars that I look at on a daily. So when I'm looking at my run list, I'm like just going through it. Boom, boom, boom. These are my cars. These are my cars. Yes, Josh Shelley, Toyota Camry. If you can find a Camry in a good, and I've sold about 4 or 5 Camrys, and every single time it has been money in the bank. Like it's really they're really good cars. Camrys are really good cars. I actually took an Uber this morning, matter of fact, in a 2019 Camry, and that car was so awesome. But yeah, so those are some of the cars that I enjoy buying, and I consider them to be golden ticket cars. Josh, ha ha ha, big time, yeah. That's where you and I are similar. You don't have to pick a side in politics. That's right, man. Just freaking go with the flow. I mean, at the end of the day, your life is determined by what you put into your life. Government and policy has a very minuscule role in your life, unless you're a woman, honestly, and the people want to tell you what to do with your body. But if you're a man, and I hate this that came out of my mouth, but it's the truth. Like, it's the truth. How in the creation can I tell you, a woman, or anybody, man or woman, what to do with your body? It's your damn body. But anyway, we'll save politics for another video. So that is why you should not. This video is over, about to end. If you have some more questions, go ahead and throw them in the live chat right now, because I'm about to get up off of here and attend to the family. But yeah, don't fall into the floor plan traps. They are truly traps. If you got money in the bank, you can play with their money a little bit, but you got to be, you have to, before you can do that, man, you got to have a system, and you got to be proven. Yeah. All right. Thank y'all for coming in and hanging out with me for a little bit. So I'm going to try to do some lives at least twice a week. I would love to, for you guys to help me grow this channel, man. Help me grow this channel. Share these videos amongst your sphere of influence. Anybody, if you guys are already in a used car group, if it's allowed for y'all to tag a video in there or drop a video in there, do the video like with the tips and tricks about the auction, right? That was a cool video. I even like that video, and I did it. But yeah, that's a nice video. Drop that in there. Let's grow this channel, because then I can actually do lives on my phone. So yeah. All right, man. Thank you, Corey. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Tim in Florida. And I will talk to y'all next time. Take care. Sell a car and have fun doing it. Peace.